Jaso
Gunamaya Guno Vibhu
Gunamaya Guno Vibhu
Saivedam Sasarjagre
Saivedam Sasarjagre
Bhagwanatmamaya
Bhagwanatmamaya
Sadasadrupaya Jaso
Sadasadrupaya Jaso
Gunamaya Guno Vibhu
Gunamaya Guno Vibhu Saivedam Sasarjagre Bhagwanatmamaya Sadasadrupaya Jaso Gunamaya Guno Vibhu
Synonyms Saha that Eva certainly Idam this Sasarja created Agre before Bhagavan the personality of Godhead Atmamaya by his personal potency Sat because Asat the effect Rupaya by forms Cha and Asau the same Lord Gunamaya the modes of material nature Transcendental Vibho the absolute Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the beginning of the material creation, that absolute personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, in his transcendental position, created the energies of cause and effect by his own internal energy. And we repeat, in the beginning of the material creation, that absolute personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, in his transcendental position, created the energies of cause and effect by his own internal energy. Purport. The position of the Lord is always transcendental because the casual and effectual energies required for the creation of the material world were also created by him. He is unaffected, therefore, by the qualities of the material modes. His existence, form, activities and paraphernalia all existed before material creation. He is all spiritual and has nothing to do with the qualities of the material world, which are qualitatively distinct from the spiritual qualities of the Lord. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sa Evedam. That is certainly. What is certainly? Sarja. Created, agreed before. The creation made by the Supreme Lord was the creative potency, creative materials was present before the creation. And how did he create? By his Atma Maya, by his personal potency. Each and every living entity has his own personal potency. Kids make certain things by their potency. We make sand castle, we break certain things, we make a project for our school by our Atma Maya, by your own potency. When you grow up, certainly you make some circuits, you go to the lab, you fix certain things. You further grow up, you have some money, resources, wealth. Then you construct skyscrapers, you make aircrafts, you make spacecrafts, you make space station in the space. You send people to other planets. So your creative potency increases. If a minute, insignificant, infinitesimal, minuscule Atma can do such wonderful things. I want to speak of absolute truth. What you are making is not you are making, you are just assembling. Prabhupada gives the example of mother, or a homemaker, or a cook, who prepares nice delicacies by mixing of multiple things. So the sugar, the milk, the ingredients, the grains are not prepared by the cook, are not manufactured by the cook, are not produced by the cook, but it is supplied to him by Mother Nature. And nature is not working independently. It is Atma Maya. By Maya Adhikshena Prakriti Suvate Sacharacharam. See, in one line, Krishna condensed the entire creation. Moving and non-moving things. Both are made by, under my supervision, Mother Nature makes it. If Krishna has to apply for a job, what you have done? I have created this middle creation. And one line resume would be this. Maya Adhikshena Prakriti Suvate Sacharacharam. Everything which is moving and non-moving, I have done it. Do you have any job for me? So that is the potency of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Moving, non-moving, whatever you see is made by me. Whatever you don't see is also made by me. That's the one line resume of Krishna. And Atma Maya, you have some potency, have this potency. But Prabhupada tells this famous conversation in Life Comes From Life. Scientists are thieves. Why does Prabhupada say that? Because a thief thinks that he assembled the construction materials, he procured the labor, he made sure he designed it, and finally he made this building. So because he thinks that he made this, he is a thief. Because none of the things which is used to manufacture a chip or a gadget or this building is manufactured or made or produced by the scientists themselves. They just get it from the nature and they assemble it. And the due credit for assembly can be given. And that too, not everyone gets that intelligence to assemble and create such wonderful things. And even the intelligence is given by Allah. Everyone is thinking how to make it happen, how to make it happen. If you see here, read the biographies of great scientists, Newton or Marconi or anyone, or Einstein or Hedwig, or many other physicists, they've always been questioning, jigyasa, how it is happening, how it is happening. He's mad after finding out how it is happening, how this phenomenon works, how this law works. You have found out the law, but you are not made the law. So they are fascinated by how this is happening. The moment they understand one little fraction of how it is happening, they get excited. And they're just so desperate to wanting me to know. Paramatma gives them, okay, it is because of gravity, oh, it is because of force, oh, it is because of G, oh, it is because of I. And they get thrilled, like a kid. Most of us used to have small cars when you were kids, when you were going to. And then you go to some rich kid's house, he has some remote controlled cars. And first time when I saw that remote control car, he कैसे चल रहा है अपने आप? As a kid I was wondering, he कैसे चल रहा है? Then he was little elderly to me, so he was ragging me without showing how it is being controlled. And eventually he showed me this is remote control, this is how it controlled. But at that point of time, अपने आप घूम रहा है. The same way the scientists are fascinated, all of us are fascinated. As a kid, so now we lose the fascination, we go for self-gratification and we forget. We don't question, the jigyasa is not there. How it is moving on its own, how can it move on its own? I have to push. Without me pushing, it's happening. Wow. Just like for the first time when the cars visit, the cars, they appear in the towns and villages. For the first time when they saw it, hey, horseless carriages. Horseless carriages, because they said always horse pulling the cart. No, they don't see any horses. There is no shit on the roads. They're very happy. But how it is moving on its own? Engineer, technocrat who knows this law, who with his Atma Maya have manipulated the law to his advantage, has done this. So if an engineer's Atma Maya is so powerful that it can make four-wheeler run at the speed of 300 km, 200 km per hour. Imagine how the Lord's Atmamaya would be. The speed at which the earth revolves. I'm talking about other galaxies and other universes and other stars and planets. I'm talking about earth itself. With this Atmamaya, it is not only revolving, it is rotating. And if I'm correct, if I trust my memory, 1 lakh miles per hour. Just see this potency. This Atmamaya. Like this, if you analyze each and every aspect, scientists know, they remove the creator part, but devotees, they see the creator part always. And that's why they see. Others don't see. Because unless you see the कौन है यहाँ का अध्यक्ष, कौन है यहाँ का मालिक? Correct? Once you know that person, you know the entire creation. But they are fascinated by the creation only. They don't know the creator. The creator as a whole is a they are doing certain things and they are responsible for this. Who made this? I made this. Who made this? I made this. A creator, a scientist, a manufacturer, by his all intelligence, he has made that. But such a wonderful creation has come up without creator. That's why they call fools also. Correct? No, यार एक छोटी चीज बनाने के लिए तो इतनी दिमाग चाहिए. इतना बड़ा अपने आप कैसे हो सकता है? Common sense है. That common sense is uncommon thing is Kaliuga. It begins, but the original scientists, the pure scientists, those who were fascinated how things happening, they wanted to know, say Einstein and Newtons, they were clear about the existence of the Lord. And they were clearly, emphatically telling that it is because of the existence of the Lord it is happening. There are many statements like that. So later on, the latest temperament scientists came into existence and they were a little vocal. They were against the church and they were against the apparent religion practice at that point of time, which is not giving scientific answers to their temperament. Again, on the contrary, when you come to Srila Prabhupada's teachings, it is very appealing. First time when I was given this life from life book, I was traveling from Bangalore to my hometown Kerala for a festival. There is one I was traveling. And I went to home, they had given me Bhagavad Gita and I almost read half. Swamiji, after because as a courtesy, library का book निकल के वापस दे रहा है, वैसे जाके दे दिया. ठीक है, you keep it with you this, but you read this book. अभी anyways you are traveling 3.5 hours, you read this book. बस, खत्म. Ignorance was completely devastated, destroyed. And I started reading. I boarded the train, I sat down, and I started reading. Like first chapter. Question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. Oh, एक नींद में ना मारते रहते. I said left, right, Prabhupada मार. And actually I was in tears. Actually I was so excited. यार ये तो ढूंढ रहा था मैं, ये तो ढूंढ रहा था. Answer to your satisfaction. Atmamaya made sense of it. Without this Atmamaya, how can you explain? It is your potency. You became a child, it's your potency. You create an organization, it's your potency. You manufacture a certain chip, what runs the whole computer system. It has got billions of transistors. A simple chip got 16 billion transistors. The current NVIDIA chips will have so many, even more than that transistor. What a creation! What a creation! And they want to go further deep. Just imagine 1 square centimeter of chip causes so many transistors. You cannot even comprehend. And that is your potential. And you have today AI technology. What is that? Atmamaya of insignificant infinitesimal jiva, which can run things on its own, maintain things on its own, give you report on its own. You work, you don't work, you sleep, it works for you and gets a dashboard. To make an Excel report, to make a PPT, used to take hours together. It happens like this, Atmamaya. That is your Atmamaya. Individuals, our soul's Atmamaya. Imagine Krishna's Atmamaya. If such insignificant chip with AI intelligence can do such a wonderful Atmamaya activities, what to speak of the Supreme Lord? Without His presence, it can go on. Creation, annihilation, creation, annihilation, creation, annihilation. In that multiple stories, every jiva has a story. In India, every year, some 1,500 movies are there, including all the roots. So 1,500 stories on a big scale. There's a certain beginning and an end. And every jiva, every soul, human being has a story. Say 850 crore people are there. They have a story. So many stories. in that creation. And it's happening every day. Even the animals, if you happen to talk to them, scientists are working really hard. And they want to understand that actually the research is focused on how the dogs communicate, how cats communicate, how do you understand? Because that is a pet animals, everyone loves them, correct? So they want to know a dog is wagging the ball, what it does mean. If he's barking in this sound, what does this mean? Agar wo roar hai, what does it mean? Or the bhook lagi to what does it mean? If he's excited and thrilled, what does it mean? How does he behave? That is the research. And one foolish guy was it. So they are in the space station and they are capturing. And they have said from the Antarctic region and Arctic region, what is in pink color or some color, pink color if I remember. Oh, that pink colored stuff is the poop of the penguins. They're on top of the spacecraft, they're in the space station and they're identifying Arctic region में जो pink color है वो penguin का shit है. This is a research work. See, such a valuable human form of life is wasted for this purpose. And to support our unwanted things, it's there in animals also. It's something uncommon. And now there's no value for scientists. There was an era, just like once upon a time, say earlier times, say ancient times, and Sanatana Dharma was still prevalent. If you say Bhagavatam में 5th chapter, में 2nd canto, में 20th verse में बोल दिया खत्म, okay, I accept it. If it is told in the scriptures, it is true. There's no further argument. Still, they don't have understand. They go to the Guru, and Guru says this is what it is. Settled. That was one generation. Next generation, when the scientific temperament came in, so it has to be told by the scientist. If the scientist tells this is what it is, I accept it. Because they are highly knowledgeable, highly effective in understanding things as they are. They are very practical people. So if they tell this is this we will accept. Although you will not be able to understand the chronology, the scientific details about it, but you accept because Newton ने बोला, Einstein ने बोला, Edison ने बोला, तो सच्ची होगा 100%. नेक्स्ट लेवल है अगर डिक्टेटर अथॉरिटी ने बोला, अथॉरिटी मतलब राजा ने बोला, या मोदी जी ने बोला, या हिटलर ने बोला, या मुसोलिनी ने बोला, या चर्चिल ने बोला, एग्जाम्पल. If they have said this, it's going to happen. जिन्ना ने बोला, सबको मारना है. गांधी जी ने बोला, हाथ नहीं उठाना है. So, authority, if they say, I no, but current generation, we don't accept any authority. We are seeing in our organization also. We don't like authorities. We don't hear them. We have our own plans. Correct? Even the current political scenario, what they call as Gen Z, they don't accept Shastra में कहा है. They don't accept textbook में कहा है. They don't expect scientists ने कहा है. They don't expect मोदी जी ने कहा है. उल्टा मोदी जी को गाली देंगे. Authority को गाली देंगे. Authority को you may not be giving गाली, but you don't accept it because you have some element of Krishna consciousness. ठीक है, हमसे नहीं हो पाएगा, मैं नहीं करूँगा. But you are still not such a rebel. But still, at the core of your heart, we are all rebels. That's why we are here. What is the verse? Ichcha dvesha samutena dvandva mohina bharata. Because of that rebel against the Lord, we are here. We are rebelled against the Atma Maya of the Lord. Now, how can this Atma Maya create such wonderful things? With this Atma Maya, he's enjoying with so many damsels in Vrindavan. I also want that Atma Maya. We rebelled. And we are here in Surat. Furthering our rebellious attitude. More we rebel, more our difficulties or miseries will increase. Once we stop rebelling, the miseries stop. And when we cooperate favorably, the happiness and pleasure increases. Ye kama prapadyante tam sthayam bhajami. Devi shagunamai mama maya nirrata. But bhaveva prapadyante means loving service. Sweet, loving relationship with the Lord. When that is established, then the Lord firstly takes care. And this place becomes Vaikuntha, not different from the Vaikuntha in the spiritual world. Because you cooperate, keeping Krishna in the center, Guru in the center. You may have your differences of opinion. You may not agree today, but Prabhu says it's closer today. Oh, finish. You're not rebelling against it. Yeah, I think rebelling around that. Accept it, closer. That is the conclusion, perfection of a devotee. What is perfection of a devotee? The 8th verse of Sikshashtakam. That concludes all of the 7 verses of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that? Ashishava, Padapika Sudama, Bhartachantara, Kupa, Tata, Nampato, Mantrana Natastu Sevena. That's the pinnacle of surrender. The pinnacle of Sarvadharma and Paritarja. Whether you embrace me, kick me. Whether you put me in hell or put me in heavenly abode. Whether you put me amongst all those people who don't respect me, revere me, or hate me, put me into troubles, still, I will not give up to your service. That is a summit of love. That's a Mount Everest of praying. And that is real Atma Maya of the Jiva. Atma Maya of the Jiva is not to create certain things. Atma Maya of Jiva is to surrender to Krishna and lovingly render service unto him, to his satisfaction. The way the one of our spiritual master asks us to do. Correct? Just like Prabhupada has done. He is setting his personal example. Whether he is in India, whether he is abroad, he is in love with the Lord. And because he is in love with the Lord, he knows the heart of the Lord, mind of the Lord. The Lord is unhappy because the conditioned souls have rebelled against him. And you have to get those souls back to him. And for that, he is constantly, consistently, even without his physical presence, he is helping the vision of Krishna. And that's why it's very, very, very dear to Krishna. And because we help him to achieve his goal, to his spiritual master and Krishna, we become dear to Prabhupada. Hence we become dear to Krishna. And that is what Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita. If you help me spreading this mission all across the globe, very dear to me. And there's no person more dear than me. That place cannot be taken by anyone. That is, place is given to Srila Prabhupada. Earlier as a kid I used to think if I do distribution, if I do preaching, I will become dear to Krishna. Obviously dear to Krishna. But that person who is actually doing it is Prabhupada. We think that when we achieve certain things in life, just like the scientists and thieves, I said those fools, they are fools and thieves. We are also fools and thieves. Because how do you think? ये मैंने बनाया है, ये वीडियो मैंने एडिट किया है, ये पोस्टर मैंने अपने लेवल पे बना. And we take credit. We don't say even Jai Srila Prabhupada that somebody appreciates. We consume that appreciation. No, people appreciate us. No, Prabhu आपने इतना बड़ा program किया, इतना बड़ा लोग whatever we do. We don't give it credit to Krishna. But then what is the difference between us and the atheist and the scientist who doesn't even believe? So we should always be having that credit, because the anarthas of the subtle nature is even more powerful than the gross nature. Initially, we'll be attracted, allured by the base nature, but eventually that will also evaporate and go away. What lingers is, what stays back is the puja, pratishtha, lava, all those higher, subtler things. It cannot be measured. If you introspect, that is still there. You may be 25 years, 30 years in the moment, it's still there in your consciousness. And one that is also gone, it's a lifetime process, one lifetime. Not even one lifetime, half lifetime. And for that we have taken it up serious. And if you endeavor like this, with completely surrendering your thinking, feeling, willing, it will happen. Just like Pandit Prabhu's soulful japa, when we chant, attentive hearing and chanting and hearing. So, but when the bhavanas are added, that goes to the next level. You have all experienced, at least on that Ekadashi day when you chant with Prabhu, or whenever you chant more rounds, or with that notes you chant, the bhavanas makes a huge difference. And that bhavanas makes you will, मुझे करना ही करना है. Same applies to sense gratification. Thinking, Contemplation is thinking, feeling, you feel for that object, and then you will, I want it. I want her at any cost. मुझे इसी से शादी करना है, मुझे आईफोन चाहिए चाहिए, नहीं मिले तो see, Yado Vishya happens in that level. Vishya for outsiders is this, but the same Yado Vishya on Krishna's Atma Maya. How did he create, bro? What a creation! Look at my brain, look at my cells in my brain, look at my blood, look at my bones, look how I work. I am bewildered with this AI, artificial intelligence. Look at the intelligence of the person who created the artificial intelligence. And look at the person who has made all such intelligence available for you. The spark of my splendor. What would be his splendor? I am excited to meet that splendor, see that splendor in my eyes. And Prabhupada consciously does that. Whenever he goes for a morning walk, no, some unusual things he will see. And he will ask his disciples, what do you understand by this? Just like scientists were seeing the poop of the penguin and they were excited. The same way, once Prabhupada was walking, early morning walking, suddenly he stopped at one place. And then he pointed towards the bird droppings. There was a lot of bird droppings. Okay? All the disciples surrounded Prabhupada. And Prabhupada pointing towards the bird droppings with his cane and asked, what do you understand by this? ये क्या है? इससे क्या understand? Oh, there are birds dropping. That's all. और क्या बताओगे? Tell me what you understand by this. That means the bird which is dropping is attached to this branch. It is attached to this branch. And attachment is the root cause of our existence. As long as you are attached, you will be here. Now, what is your attachment? Your attachment depends upon what you get excited of. That bird got excited because क्या tree है, यहाँ से अच्छा view आता है, lake view आता है, यहाँ से predators जब आते हैं तो बच सकता हूँ, ये मेरे लिए safe है, correct? आहार निद्रा वायुमंडल और मैं best जगह यही है, and got attached to that place, and he's staying there in that place for many months, and that's why the droppings. So wherever you have attachment, you get attached, and that bird will keep born in the same, keep getting birth in the same place. The same, wherever your attachment is there, and we know where our attachment is there. Very clear. Attraction for the opposite gender. As long as we have attraction for the opposite, all of us, we have to come back. There's a many lifetimes project. But Prabhupada's assurance is that if you understand Krishna's Atma Maya and Krishna in reality, you get attracted to him. Just like Dhyayatma Vishya, we get attracted. The same way Dhyayatma Krishna. Dhyayatma Krishna's Leelas, Dhyayatma Krishna's creation, Dhyayatma Krishna's potencies. Then we get attracted to Krishna. Yeah, how powerful my Lord is, how beautiful my Lord is, how merciful my Lord is, how famous my Lord is, how knowledgeable his Gita is. And you keep relishing it yourself, you share it with Tushyante Ramanticha, and if you do Tushyante Ramanticha, if you don't do, you will do Prajan. And you do fault finding. And after you go, you get affected. Because you have not sufficiently strengthened your love for Krishna. Just like a girl and a boy is in love with each other, they have 1,000 mouths to glorify their lover. Correct? They'll be always thinking how beautiful my lover is, how handsome he is, he gave me this gift, he took me like this, he gave me this pleasure. Correct? They are always contemplating on each other. Or the mother. Even if you go to your mother, तुम्हें पता है तुम छोटे थे, तुमने ऐसा किया था, वैसा किया था, तो कुछ भी बच्चे वाले जो भी हरकतें किए थे, उसको इतने glorify कर रहे हैं, as it is Krishna's Leela. Correct, no? Mothers are like that. Because they love you. The same way, with same intensity, or more than that intensity, just like a lover glorifies the beloved, just like the mother glorifies the child. Sometimes father also. Father doesn't glorify. But when you get a job, when you are settled, oh, my son is working in Microsoft, my son is working in Google, he's a government employee. Same intensity we should have for Krishna's glorification or Vaishnava's glorification. Vaishnavas, not Acharyas, not Prabhupada. Yeah, is there anyways, they should, no doubt about it. But even other Vaishnavas whom you stay with, if you don't appreciate the little bit contribution what they have done, oh, what is this? You can't take care of my disciples, what love you have for me. If you want to love me, love my dog. इसलिए प्रभुपाद बोलते हैं, everyone should be addressed as Prabhu, not that he becomes Prabhu. And you have to be tolerant to understand this Atma Maya. Otherwise, some other Maya will come and take us away. That's why Prabhupada tells one quality of a devotee. Prabhupada says one quality of a devotee. What is that one quality? That is always tolerant. क्या है? बोलिए.
Always tolerant.
Always. Always means 24/7. Of other people. So I request you simply to tolerate the fault of others and always think that I am myself the most faulty. बोलिए.
I am myself.
I am myself the most faulty. In this way, your humble attitude will qualify you to advance very quickly in Krishna consciousness. तो 10 साल हो गए, तो 20 साल हो गए, तो अभी भी ऐसे की ऐसी है, तो फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा. टॉलरेट किया तुमने? Tolerate, you tolerate from the top, you tolerate from the bottom. You tolerate your boss, you tolerate your junior. And anyone who tolerates, Krishna loves him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, Pranada Visunichena Tarovaya Saishna Manina Manate. Where do you apply all this? Your donors will not left your phones. They will disrespect you. They will say, सामने दिख रहा है, वो बोल नहीं है, निकलो. Yes, sir, आप नहीं है, हमारा. And beauty of Ashram is like that. Porcupines from everywhere you get tears. And but because of that you blood sheds out and you go out of the association, you die out of the freezing cold. But if you tolerate that, you will survive the cold of Mahamaya and you will be in Atma Maya of Krishna and you will be safe. The choice is under you. So here the word, one more word which Krishna speaks about is cause and effect. This is something which fascinated me, cause and effect. Just as a kid, no, we always have this jigyasa. ये कैसे हो रहा है? मुझे याद है मैं during summer vacation you go to Nani's house, Dadi's house. So I was in Mysore and hometown was in Kerala. Summer vacation में था. मैं बचपन में सोच रहा था, यार मेरे पीछे सूरज मेरे पीछे आ गया. अभी मैं केरला में हूँ, तो सूरज मेरे ऊपर है. तो सूरज मैसूर में भी होना चाहिए. ये इधर ही है, ये मेरे साथ आ गया. वहाँ पे अंधेरा है, धूप है. I wanted to write a letter to my friend asking you whether something is there. See the jigyasa? So what is causing it? Of course ये लेवल वाला क्वेश्चन नहीं था, but basic वाला क्वेश्चन. बस में जाने मेरे पीछे क्यों आ रहा था? Science told something, okay, we believed it, whatever it is. But the jigyasa was there. And when CPP told this example, I was so happy to know that. He said, what is the cause of this illumination? He asked this. Switch is the cause of the illumination. This is a cause, this is an effect, that is a cause. But that is the effect. What is the cause? The main generator here, the main transformer here. That is the cause, this is the effect. But the transformer is just the effect. What is the cause? The powerhouse. Powerhouse is just the effect. What is the cause? The water in the dams. The water in the dams is effect. What is the cause? The clouds. Clouds is just the effect. What is the cause? Sun. Sun is just the effect. What is the cause? And he quotes Bhagavad Gita's verse. Maya Adakshena Prakriti Spiriti Sacharacharam. Under my superintendence, Prakriti produces moving and that is the cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of every other cause. Once you know him, then there is nothing to be known. Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, what is that verse? Once you understand this, there is nothing to be understood. What is that verse in your nose? I also don't know. Figure out. So that is the perfection of Krishna consciousness we are in. And that is Atma Maya. That is a cause and effect. And by its own internal potency. So we have a choice to be influenced by him and know that internal potency, get influenced by internal potency. Those who are dedicated should be influenced by the internal potency. But unfortunately, because we are marginal, we get swayed from internal potency to external potency. Internal potency, it's a war waging every day. And those who wear the kavacha of the internal potency in the morning will be able to successfully counter that war against Maya. Otherwise, we will keep getting hit here. Then you have bandage here. But still, we should not quit the battle. Loser is not loser until he stops fighting. बोलते जब तक बंदा उठा नहीं तब तक वो हारा नहीं है. So we should not lose the spirit of fighting it back. And don't fight your battles alone. Everyone goes through this. Our battle is with the opposite gender. Our battle is with Maya. That is always there with us. As long as we are unboarded, these thoughts will be there, these anarthas will be there. But when you take shelter of Senior Vaishnavas, take their guidance, and Sadhu Shastra is anyways there, Guru is anyways there, you tread the path and get influenced by Atma Maya in the sense, just like Prabhu gave the example of cause and effect. Oh, what is the cause of this effect what I am going through? It's chemical nature because I am contemplated on the sense object. Correct? Because I am contemplated on the sense object, I am having this cause. And they are having this effect. So what is the cause of that cause? That cause, oh Krishna's Maya, oh. As a third person, you see that. And the same thing, this is a principle, it's a law. Same thing you apply in Krishna consciousness. Instead of contemplating on the opposite gender, we contemplate on the beautiful transcendental form of Vita Govinda, capture it. It is difficult to capture Lord's form. You capture the opposite gender, it is easy. One glance, you are there, it's in the memory. But Nitai Gauranga you capture, not possible. Because you are not attracted to him. To get attracted to him, you have to hear about him. This example I always tell, and I stop after this. Just like in the class or in the college. Okay? There are girls, but you don't get attracted to every girl. Correct? You don't have feelings for every girl. But that one girl, she may be far from beauty, but she writes assignments for you. She gets you food, feeds you, she put proxies for you. And one day she didn't come, you started missing her. Correct, no? So when you take service, when you hear from her, when you hear about her, when you spend time with her, and when you do service, seva to her, your attachment for that person increases. You started feeling for her, willing for her, and do action for her, right? Same applies to Krishna. You have to hear about Krishna. Our being from that, hearing Shravanam, Mananam, Dhyanam, and Anushilanam. This has to be constantly done. Then once the Anushilanam is done, that becomes a standard template. Now, the moment somebody offers Bhoga, please, thank you so much. We come to that level at least. We will not eat Bhoga. Somebody offers you a favorite Bhoga. What was your favorite dish once upon a time? Say non-veg item. But no, they don't even offer you. But even it is a Bhoga, we have your favorite dish, vegetarian dish. But it's a Bhoga. Thank you so much. See, that template has come. The same way, other templates also should be fed in. Okay, this is not favorable for Krishna. This is favorable for Krishna. I accept which is favorable, I reject which is unfavorable. And I am influenced by Atma. I understand the cause, I understand the effect. And I know the cause of all the causes. I am surrendered to him. Just like you are a BJP Karyakarta. So, for example, Modi ji talks to you. Modi ji has a selfie with you. He appreciates you this one key path. You are in cloud nine, correct? The same way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, Prabhupada, he is appreciating you for the seva what you have done. You are chosen for in this army, you are chosen for his plans, you are chosen for this yatra. Just imagine. So I have just do this. So I will develop attachment for the Lord and his devotees and the Vaishnavas here. Then you can survive with them, you can be with them, and you can flourish with them, and that makes a World Cup winning team. Otherwise, we'll be fighting like in Pakistani's team and we'll never win the World Cup. Doesn't matter. You have to win the World Cup means you have to together as a team work with the cooperation and tolerate with humility and nothing. Not finding faults. And that's the perfection of life. And that's why we are here. It's a training. It doesn't happen overnight. Gradually, eventually, eat the belly. Success is sure for the rigid practitioners. We are rigid. And that is what Maya hates. You cannot be rigid. You cannot be rigid. No, you miss this, you miss this, you miss this. And it takes us for a ride. But again, he bounce back. Again, he bounce back. It's a bounce back. And that's a national life. It cannot be smooth. But if you are taking that anxiety, just like what happened to that girl, you call her, hey, what happened? No, I met with an accident. You rush to the spot, you take her to the hospital, you take care of her, you call her parents. Correct, no? Hardly 3 months in the college. And what to speak of us, who have dedicated our life for his cause. Noble cause. And the whole, those who come in touch with us will also be fighting for that cause. Those who have forgotten who Krishna is. Such a glorious service Prabhupada has entrusted us. But if we cooperate together in a team, abiding by the captain, then we can win that. Winning or losing is anyways not in our hand. Just playing itself is winning nowadays. For Karmis you have to win, then only you are successful. Messi, Argentina, they went to the final, but final they lost. Nobody cares. Spain is the champions. But in our case, even just mere practicing, you are a big failure apparently from the parameters of success. But just playing the Krishna conscious game for Krishna and Prabhupada and senior Vaishnavas, that itself is success. There is no defeat in Krishna consciousness. But the problem with devotees is, okay, this is success, this is defeat. Oh, 400 लोग का है तो defeat है, 1000 लोग का है तो success. So you are celebrating Janmashtami itself is a success. You are practicing Krishna consciousness is a success. बाकी additional that is his wish. He sends. When you are working for him, he sends the people, he sends the resources, he sends the Lakshmi, he sends the gadgets, he sends the properties. You're just instrument. If you act like an instrument, you will be very happy. If you act like a master, then you are gone. Okay? That's how Atma Maya influences us. Otherwise, Mahamaya is always there with us. We are already seeing Maya. Sometimes we are in Atma Maya. More you increase the duration of Atma Maya, Mahamaya will retreat. ठीक है भाई तुम उनके साथ रह ले मैं तुमको छोड़ देती हूँ चल निकल. That's a victory. ठीक है? We stop here unless you have any questions or comments. Vishnu Guru. Yes.